Before coming to BITS, I haven't even heard of the state of Maine.
I had difficulties the first semester because I was experiencing all the opportunities that existed.
It taught me a way to learn independently and to be able to, when I'm interested in a subject, pursue it on my own.
There's a Heaven. It was one of my 4 years at Bates. It was just wonderful. I think there's this great respect for somebody else's opinion. And I think that filters down to the students for sure.
You are your own person. You're encouraged to be your own person. I felt that as a student, and I hope that that's what I'm helping my students develop now that I'm teaching.
I think that's really, been the most important thing to me was the relationships I've had with professors.
I always felt very grateful to Ed Petro, who was the basketball coach. Ed was a type of person that if he told me to go through that closed door without opening it, I would have gone through the closed door.
One of the things I found out is that a lot of Bates students care a lot about doing good. They don't know how to do good, though. It's one of the things that they come to college to find out.
There was a huge amount of community service and community involvement, more so here than there were at my friends' colleges.
The opportunity to take advantage of a lot of internship programs had a big impact on the things that I did here and then the things that I continued to do after Bates.
People who are involved in nonprofit causes are the folks who you want to be around. And people who volunteer for good causes have a passion that's contagious.
It does us good to remember people like Orrin Burbank, Gene Ann, and George Colby Chase, and those Maine people who, by the standards of the world, would have been thought to have been limited and parochial and even isolated, but whose vision for education was far ahead of its time and much grander than many of the older, more established institutions.
The first woman who graduated Bates was Mary Mitchell, and she was tough as nails. She was offered a scholarship by the governor of Maine and turned it down and said to give it to one of the brethren because she can fend for herself.
I came from a very modest household income. My father never got to school, never went to college. He was born in 1919, and he was a tool maker. And he never had the opportunity. And I did have this opportunity. I got this tremendous education, and I was inspired by people who believed in me and thought I could make a difference in the world. I set up a scholarship in my father's honor about 5 years ago. He passed away 7 or 8 years ago, and he was very proud of my time at Bates.
When the short term came up, that was a trip taking 10 students from BITS to study actually environmental issues in mainland China. China was so close to Vietnam, and everybody asked, now do you go home to see your parents? I had 3 days between my China short term and an internship in Japan, and I said, no, it may be too expensive for such a short trip. Then my advisor said, hey, if I were your parents, I would love to see you even for a day, not just 3 days. Why don't you just go home and I'm happy with the ticket and don't worry about it. Coming from Vietnam, we have this saying, if somebody give you an apple, you should plant an apple tree and give them back. Coming to BITS, getting all this education and learning, I feel like I haven't paid enough back yet, and so I really couldn't take that gift. You know what he told me? He said, you know, I do this not because I want you to feel you want to give an apple back to me. One day you will be a teacher. I always wanted to be a teacher. And you do the same thing for your students, and that's how you pay me.
It always remembers that the study of societies and how the world evolves in every possible way is our mission to learn. Not to wear our accolades too proudly on our sleeves, but to use them and to use the instruments that Bates really gave us.
What matters about Bates for me is its capacity to do for others what it did for me and for so many before me. That it will take a boy or girl who may have a small view of the world or of self, and it will, through quiet care and consistent attention, broaden all of those categories, deepen them, give you a sense of self and a sense of place and a sense of possibility in the world.